Okay, today we are going to create a Adobe Spark web page. Now this is a cool feature that you can use for your classroom, something you can use for projects with colleagues, or maybe you want your students to get a little bit more involved with it and creating some different web pages. However you see fit with it. I want to show you a couple features on how to create this Adobe Spark web page. And the first thing that we need to do is go to Adobe Spark itself. Now you can do that by going to spark.adobe.com. Once you've typed that into the address bar, you will get to their web page. Now, if you already have an account, you can actually go here to the sign in and log in directly from there. Or if you're a first-time user and you want to create a free account, you can use the Start Now blue button here. So if I click on that, there's a couple different options for me here to sign in. So you can use the sign in for Google. That's your Google single sign-in option. You can use Facebook, Apple, sign in with a different email. Also, you can use an Adobe ID. Now, there's a couple options here too for teachers and for students. For students and teachers, you can log in using the class code or a school account. But I would suggest, especially if your school is a Google school, just to use your Google account associated with your school account. You can just sign in directly with Google and then choose the option or the account that you want. And then that will take you to your home page here. Now on your home page, you have a couple different features directly here too. You can take a look at some of your recent projects, can click onto that and continue working on one of those. Maybe you want to start something with a template that's already created. They have a lot of awesome creative templates that are set up for you to choose from to start with your project. You also have the ability to tell a story with a couple different options through some social media. You can also add to your brands, but what we really want to get to is our creation here. So if we go up to this blue button here on the top left, above your home, that is the plus sign. We click on that. Here's the options of the variety of things that we can create here on Adobe Spark. So you can create a flyer, you can add to a social media post or story, make a collage, a web page, a video, all of some great options here. A couple of those other options are covered in some other badges. But for today, we're going to talk about creating a web page. So if I click on this, it will open up to a web page that I can now start working on. So the first thing that comes up is our title. So I can create a title here, and I can also add a subtitle. Now up at the top, you have some different options too. You have settings, you have preview, which is what it will look like as a web page. You can do present, which is an option where if you are presenting to your class or to some colleagues, you can actually just come here and directly present, and it'll show up that way as a presentation mode. And you can also share out your web page directly too with some colleagues or with your students. Now all the way over here on the right is the themes. So with the themes, if we click on this, you can see there are a lot of professionally done themes. Now this can change your outlook here for your header on your web page, so you can change it around like this, and it shows that changes some of the coloring, some of the font sizes, things like that. So those are some options there. So I want to settle with this here whimsy, and when I click out of that, I have the ability to actually add a header photo. So if you click on the photo, you can actually upload a photo directly here that will show up as your web page header. You can also find free photos. You also have Adobe Stock and a couple other different options too. Now if we come down here, you see the plus. If we scroll down, there's another plus. And what this does, if we click on it, this gives us the ability to add in content to our web page itself. So we have the option to add in a photo. We can add in text. We can create an interactive button that maybe has a link to an outside source. We can add in a video, a photo grid, a glide show, and also, this is a newer feature, a split layout, where we can actually have a couple different options on one section of our web page. So let's say I want to choose some text. I can add that in there. If I click on it again, I have the option to make it bold. I can also as well change the positioning of it if I want it to be centered. I can also even change a couple things with the heading and things like that. You can also link this directly too. Now, you notice that there's two plus signs here. So what I can actually do is I can click the plus to add something below my text there. Maybe I want it to be a photo. I can actually choose to upload a photo or use my free photos. Let's see, I want to do something maybe with like technology. Because that was that plus that was underneath the text, this is where the photo now showed up. Now, if I did this on the plus above it, you can see that that photo now pops up above the text. Now, if it's something that you don't want to have put in there, you can always come up here and go to the undo button. So if I click on that, you can see that photo is gone. If I want to put it back, I can always push the redo. Now, what I can actually do with my photo is if I click on it, I have some options to change the formatting. So I can choose to fill the screen with it, make it just a window, maybe full width. I can move it up and down. I can even replace it or delete it directly here. So once I've gotten that figured out, I can actually continue to go down and add in some more elements as well. So this little plus sign is actually very powerful because this is how I can continue to add content onto my web page. So let's say I want to create a button here. I can actually create this as a link. So now this button here, it will actually, if people are on my web page, they click the button, it will actually take them to the homepage for Adobe Spark. And as you can see, as you continue to go down and add more items, you can continue to build a professional, simple, really good looking web page that can have a lot of really great content on it. Now, one thing is, once we're building it, we want to be able to make sure that it looks good for people that are coming to visit our web page. So that's what this preview option is for. So if we click on this, and now we can see what this looks like from our viewer's perspective. You can then click this X to get out of preview mode to go back to editing your web page. Now, another option too is that present mode, which I talked about earlier. So if you click on present, this is where I can pull this up and actually present my web page almost as if it is a presentation itself. So you can pull this up if you are doing a presentation or if you are in a staff meeting, a professional development meeting, or something that you're running. You can actually create a Adobe Spark page and then pull up the material there to present to your colleagues or students. Settings is another feature that's here as well. If you click on this, there's not too many settings that can be changed, but they have added a few things such as the Google Analytics tracking ID, and you can also enable cookies on the banner. But if you take a look at this, these are actually premium features. So they are required for an upgrade. If you want to do the paid version of Adobe Spark, then you can actually add in these features here. But for the most part, for what you will need your web page to look like and what you want to do with it, you more than likely will be able to find everything that you want to use for Adobe Spark page in the free account version. And then our final option is to actually share out our web page. So if I click on this, I can publish and share the link. I can even print this out. I can send it to Google Drive, which, as you can see, is a new feature that Adobe Spark has put in. I can also invite people here to come in and collaborate and work on my web page as well. So maybe there's a couple different teachers that need to work on a web page. Maybe it's a team of teachers that are working on something, or if you want this to be something with your students can invite other students to work as a group on this. So those are cool features there. If we go to the publish and share link, it will take us to this page so we can have our title here. We'll be asked to pick a category. You can have your author put up there as well if you choose to highlight that. Then it'll show up. If you want to keep it off, you can. It gives photo credits, which is also really nice as well. You can even leave this on if you want to get noticed, maybe feature the Adobe Spark website. That's completely up to you. But then you can create the link here. And as it creates your link, you can now use this to share out with everyone. So you can actually copy the link here and paste it wherever you want, or you can embed it somewhere. You can email it out to people. You can also use Teams or your Google Classroom option to put directly into Google Classroom, which is a really great new feature from Adobe Spark. You can also blast it out on social media with Twitter and Facebook, or like I said before, you can simply just copy it here and then paste it wherever you like. So those have been some really good, awesome features that you can use to create your own web page here on Adobe Spark. As you can see, really great features that add in photos and videos, things like that. But you can also present it as a project with your students, something for your class that you create to help them out, something that you want them to maybe create as a group project, or maybe something a team of teachers might create to be a nice home base for anything that's going on for that team of students. However you see fit, there are a lot of great options here with Adobe Spark web page.